Okay, hello and good morning. Let's talk about today's work here. Today you're going to be graphing some lines. And by the way, if you need help on your practice test, let me know and I'll work whatever you need help with, okay? All right, so let's take a look here. You do have a test this weekend, all right, and it was open yesterday and it's through Sunday, so don't miss it. If you missed the first test, I may open it again for the weekend. All right, let's take a look here. Well, to graph these, you have to get y by itself. So draw a line and then circle the y. So you want to get rid of the x first and then the 2. So you want to subtract x because it's a plus. Then you want to divide by 2. And so you get y equals negative 1x over 2 plus 0. So your y-intercept is 0. There's your y-axis right here. Okay. And the slope is rise over run. So it's going to be rise. So in this case, we're going to go down 1 and then to the right 2. It's a negative slope. And there it is. And that's how you do it. And that's what we're doing today is graphing some lines. This one right here, number 2, what you want to do is get y by itself again. Draw a line. Circle the y. I want to see that, okay? So subtract 2x from both sides. And then you want to divide by negative 3. When you divide by negative 3, you get this, okay? Well, you might say, well, what the heck is that? Well, that's your y-intercept. And that's going to be a positive 1 2/3. So go up 1 2/3. Your slope is 2 over 3. So it's rise, so it's up 2. Up 2 is 1, 2, up 2, and then to the right, because that's a positive 2 over 3, and then to the right 3. And there it is. And that's how you do that. And that's how you do today's work. So there it is. Today you're going to be graphing lines. So if you need it, copy it down. If you can print it, then by all means print it. Okay. Make sure you show work. No work, no credit. Okay. All right. Let's turn our attention now to geometry. Geometry, we're doing mental math again. Okay. These concepts are very important, and you need to know them. So look up here. Well, this one right here. Let me think about it. I have more negatives. This one right here, they're the same. This one right here, a positive times a negative is a negative, so now they're the same. This one, a negative times a negative is a positive. They're opposite, but I have more negatives. A negative times a negative is a positive 6. And then we want to complete the square. So look up here. Draw a line. Get your x's together. Plus some number. Then get your y's together. Plus some number equals negative 69. All right, so you're going to do half and then square. That's the process. So half of 14 is 7, and 7 squared is 49. So we're going to add 49 to both sides. This one, half of 12 is 6, and 6 squared is 36. So we're going to add 36 to both sides. Okay? So at this point, this now should be a perfect square. So it's going to be something squared plus something squared is equal to whatever the heck that is. And let's figure that out now. So take 49 plus 36 minus 69, and I get 16. And I like 16 because it's perfect. So it's going to be 7. 7 times 7 is 49. It's going to be 6. But it's a minus there, so you can do y minus 6. All right, so to graph this, and you're going to have to know how to graph it, is opposite, square root. And so in this case, the center of the circle is going to be a -7 and a +6, and the radius is going to be 4. So I'm going to go -7 this way, and then up 6 is somewhere up here. Then I'm going to go up 4, over 4, down 4, this way 4, and boom, you got your circle. Okay? Say it to yourself right now. Close your eyes. Opposite, opposite, square root. Memorize that. This is number 4 on your practice test. And by the way, you're going to get your practice test up there on that cart. All right, we're going to do it row by row. There are 3 pages. Make sure you grab all 3 pages. Let's take a look at the practice test, okay? I'm going to have you work on it today, but tomorrow we'll go over it. And I'm going to start here. Number 1, you can skip. It says, which triangle has the greatest area? Well, guess what? There are no triangles. So, but you can write down area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. Write that down. This one right here, it says write an equation. Well, it's going to be x, number 2, x minus h squared, y minus k squared equals the radius squared. So that's your h, but that's going to be a double negative. So that's going to be a plus. Like that. So it's going to be x plus 7 squared. This one's going to be a double negative there and there. So that's going to be y plus 6 quantity squared. And then the radius is 2, but you got to square it, so you get 4. Opposite, opposite, square root. There it is. That's your answer. All right, the next one. What is the center and the radius of the circle? Well, opposite. So the center is going to be 4, and then the opposite of that is a positive, and the square root of 9 is 3. And we're done. That was easy. Okay, write in standard form. Let's take a look at this one. You got to go -6, which is this way, and then -8 is here. Okay, so that's the center. And it passes through 0, 0. So this circle looks like this. Now, in order to get this, we have the center, but we need the radius. To get the radius, you got to do the distance formula. Okay, so put distance equals. Remember this formula? Well, it's on the EOC. So I'm going to do x minus x. So 0 minus a -6. Okay, and then 0 minus a -8. Like that. And so I'm going to get the square root. That's plus. 6 times 6 is 36. This is a plus. 8 times 8 is 64. When I add that up, I get the square root of 100, which equals 10. So the radius is 10. Okay? So to write it in standard form, the center is here, so it's going to be x plus 6, because you got to do the opposite, squared. You got to do the opposite, y plus 8 squared, and then its radius squared equals 100. And there it is, and that's your answer for number 10. Okay, I'm just going straight down the line here. Number 11. What is the equation that passes through that? Well, let's think about that. All right, so the center of the circle is over 3, up 5. That's the center. And it passes through -4, up 10, way up here. So the circle looks like this. So you want to do the distance formula. Okay, same thing. So you want to do the distance between these two to get the radius, and then you work it the same way as number 10. All right, which best describes the position of point Q in relationship to the circle with a radius of 10? Let's take a look at it. Over 4, down 5, I guess that is. I'm not real sure. That's not real clear. All right, but I guess it's a negative. I'm not positive. So go, I guess it's a negative, but I'm not positive. Okay. And then go down 5. Because I think it is a negative, but I'm not positive. Anyway, so the radius is 10. So you're going to go over this way 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The radius is 10. All right. So really the bottom line is you got to figure out the distance. Okay, the radius is 10. So over 12 up 1. Over 12 up 1 could very well be on the circle. All right. So what you want to do is figure out the distance between these 2 points. So you're going to do the distance formula like this. And if the distance is 10, then it's on the circle. Okay? If it's bigger than 10, it's outside the circle. And if it's less than 10, it's inside the circle. Okay? So when you do this, the distance between these 2 points, and I guess that's a negative, if the distance is 10, it's on the circle because that's what your radius is. If the distance is bigger than 10, it's outside the circle. If the distance is less than 10, it's inside the circle. Make sure you know that. So it's just a distance formula. All right, number 15, there were 7 formulas for circles. And actually for this one, I might be getting ahead of myself. It says name the major arc. Remember, a major arc has 3 points and it's bigger than 180. So 3 points and it's greater than 180 degrees. All right, so let's see. What are the major arcs that contain point B? I'm just going to give you one, okay? You can look at the answers. D, B, C is a major arc because it's bigger than 180. AC is a diameter. All right, so it's going to be arc DBC is a major arc. And then there are more. You can look at the answers. These right here are completing the squares. I already did number 4 on the bell work. So all of those are completing the squares. And you should be able to do that. I did one of them for you, plus the bell work. Probably all week has had it on there. What is the graph of that equation? Okay, so they want the graph. So the center is going to be opposite of that, and then the square root of that. So the radius is 3. So you're going to go over 6, down 7. Then you're going to go up 3, over 3, down 3, this way 3, and bam, you got your answer. Number 14, what's the coordinates of the center of the circle? Well, the center of the circle here, this x is not expanded, so it's 0. The opposite of 9 is a negative 9. There it is. That's the center of the circle. All right, so the first page is really not too bad. Let's go on. Okay, this one right here, here's the trick, okay? What you're going to do is bevel this, move this segment over to here and make a right triangle. And then you're going to say from here to here is 12, so this is 12. The whole thing is 24. So then you're going to take this right triangle out, which looks like this, and you're going to do something called Pythagorean's theorem. You're going to color the box. A squared, B squared, C squared. Remember that? So the hypotenuse goes by itself. So it's going to be 9 squared plus 12 squared equals hypotenuse squared. So x is going to be the square root of 81 plus 144. You're going to add these up and pop the square root button and bam, you got your answer. All right, this one right here, these are segments. So it's going to be this times this, so 6 times 16. 6 times 16 equals 9 times x. And so all you're going to do is divide by 9. So get your calculator. 6 times 16 divided by 9. Check your answer, and you're done. All right, let's see this one. EG from here to here is 25. So the whole thing is 25. F is 2/5 of the way between those two. Find the value of FG. So they want this one, okay? But it says F is 2/5 of the way between. So this is 2/5 of the way, and what you're looking for is 3/5 of the way, okay? Because it has to add up to 1. 2/5 plus 3/5 adds up to the whole thing, which is 5 over 5, which equals 1. So what you want to do basically is take 3 over 5 times 25 over 1. And when you multiply, you're going to reduce. 5 goes into 5, 5 goes into that. 5 times 3 is 15. So that should be 15. And this, 15 here, and then this should be 10. If you add that up, you get 25. To check it, You would take 10 over 15 and you would divide by 5 to check it, and you get 2/3, which is, let me think about this. Actually, it would be 10 over the whole thing, which is 25. Okay, and that's going to give me 5 goes into that 2, 5 goes into that 5. That gives you 2/5. And then if you take 15 over the whole thing, which is 25, you get 3/5, which is, bam, that's the answer. Okay, this one works the same way. Let's see what's going on. EG is 45, so the whole thing is 45. And this is 2/5 of the way between these. So this one is 2/5, and this one has to be 3/5. Is this the same problem? Basically the same thing. They want FG, so they want this one. So it's going to be 3 over 5 times 45 over 1. 5 goes into that. 9 times 3 is 27. So this one's going to be 27, and that's what they're looking for. If they want EF, then you're going to multiply by 2/5. All right, let's go on. This one right here says, name the major arc and find its measurement. Well, you know every circle is 360 degrees, correct? All right, so the major arc, this one right here is a minor arc from here to here. An arc is like the curvature on your eyeball, and that's minor. So major would be A, D, B. So you're going to take 360 minus 50, and that gives you 310 degrees, and there it is. This one right here says find the circumference. Well, leave your answer in terms of pi. So it's going to be circumference equals pi times diameter. Remember, circumference is if you walk around this circle 1 time. If you walk around 5 times, multiply by 5. Or 4.5, multiply by 4.5. So the radius is 18, but the diameter is 18 plus 18, so that's 36. So I'm going to say 36 is your diameter, and pi, so it's going to be 36 pi. Okay? They don't want you to multiply by 3.14 because it says in terms of pi. This one right here is the same thing. This one wants the area, though. Area is pi radius squared, so it's going to be pi times the radius, 2.2 times 2.2. You're going to multiply these, and whatever you get is your answer. So let's try it. Let me move this out of the way. Clear it up. 2.2 squared. I get 4.84 pi, and this is radius, so it's going to be squared. Units squared. This one is going to be units to the first power because it's singular. This is 2-dimension. Name the minor arc and find its measurement. Well, the minor arc is right here. And the arc and the angle are the same, so it's 115 degrees. Remember, the angle and the arc are the same when it's a central angle. Find the area of the sector. Okay, so draw a circle. This is a review question. And it says the central angle is 170. Well, straight across is 180. Okay, but we want 170, so it's probably about that much. So put 170 right here. Okay. And the diameter, so all the way across, the diameter is 9.1. Remember, area of the sector is going to be pi radius squared, which is the whole circle, but you only want a fraction of it. So there's the answer, or the setup. It's a review question. So put 170 over 360 times pi times the radius squared. Well, 9.1 is your diameter, is what they said, so we got to divide that by 2. Oops. 9.1 divided by 2, and I get 4.45. So it's going to be 4.45 squared. Okay, so you're going to square that times 3.14. I messed that up. So 4.45. 4.45 squared. 4.45 squared. Okay. Times 3.14 times 170. Press equals, and then divide by 360. And bam, you got your answer. 29 and some change. That's the area of the sector. Number 21. find the shaded region. The way you're going to do that is you're going to take the big circle minus the little circle, and that's going to give you the decking around this pool, okay, or the sidewalk. Anyway, so the big circle is going to be pi radius squared, okay? So pi, and the radius is going to be, from here to here is 5.4 plus 2.2, so 5.4. Let me think here a minute. Okay, so the radius is going to be from here to here, so it's going to be 2.2 plus half of 5.4. I don't know what that is. So 5.4 divided by 2. So the radius is going to be whatever this is, okay, because the radius goes from here to here. So we want the big circle. So we're going to take 2.7 plus 2.2, and so the radius is going to be 4.9. So it's going to be 4.9 times 4.9 is the big circle minus the little circle is going to be pi times radius squared. Well, the little circle, I think that's 2.2 if I remember correctly. Let me check it out. 5.4 divided by 2. It's 2.7. Okay, so put 2.7 times 2.7. Now, here's how you do this. You multiply all of this and you subtract all of that. And bam, you got your answer. Remember, to get the outside circle, it's the big circle minus the little circle. Just be careful with your radius. I think that's it. I think we did it. All the answers are there. And I'll see you guys in class. Have a good day and good luck on your test. And by the way, if you missed the other test, which I don't remember, I think it was chapter 11, it's posted and it will not be posted a third time until week 9. Have a good day.